Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So in the last part, we searched around the vast sand sea, trying to find the ship that houses Nehru's flame. We got a few clues here and there, nothing too big, but after visiting the pirate stronghold, we're now able to douse for it, which is probably going to be the best way to find it. So since we're done here, let's go ahead and talk to our robot captain here. I still love this guy. Yeah, so unfortunately it wasn't here either, but we did find a clue, and we can use dowsing. That's amazing. So definitely find it. Let's set sail. Okay, so this section coming up, yeah, he's going to say we pretty much have to do it for him. He's not going to be of much help. So it's currently hidden, but if we attack it, we might be able to catch a glimpse of it. So there's kind of a clue. And this section right here is pretty much the first place that it's kind of required. I imagine that the ship would still be visible if you didn't use dowsing, but you pretty much have to if you want to find it. So it's already set to us, but we can go ahead and, there we go, do that again. So we can see it's kind of over in this direction. It's going to be a bit of a sail because we're going to have to go around a lot of rocks. And also, once we find it, we're going to have to use our cannon that we haven't really done too much with. So a couple new things here, I guess. So again, as before, we're just going to speed through all the enemies here, nothing too important to watch out for. I kind of like to stay along the perimeter for a while because there's a lot of these rocks that pop up, and it can be really annoying to have to sail around all of them. So if you just kind of stay here next to the edge, we need to be kind of going in this direction anyway. I think, yeah, it's kind of over there. So you can basically just follow the shoreline here. And then eventually it'll start to get more open, and it's around this point, yeah, see, we kind of need to head over in this direction now. It's kind of at that point you want to head to open sea, but really once you get here, there's not too much blocking your way, so you can just head straight for it. Now, an easy way to do this is to just kind of keep dousing on and just keep going. Thankfully, you can move and still, like, boost the ship. And as it starts to get bigger, that means you're right on it. So you can see we're kind of up against something, and we pulled up right alongside it, so that worked pretty well. So, of course, that's the ship. We're going to have to pursue it, keep pounding it with the cannon. So, oh, I meant to boost there. Let's see. So after you shoot it the first time, you can kind of lose track of it a little. So, I thought Alright, let's stop and get a nice look here. Okay, it's back this way. So you kind of lose it the first time you shoot it. But thankfully, there's not that little scene the second time, so you can pretty much just shoot it twice in a row. Alright, so we should be coming on it. Okay, there it is. And wow, we just barely got it, but we had to hit it 3 times, and that'll sort of deactivate it. And it'll crash into the sand, and that'll let us get on it. And yes, the sand ship is actually the dungeon for this region. Pretty cool. So it kind of forgoes the traditional, big dungeon that you have to like walk down some steps to get into, and it's all underground and everything. And no, we're just on a ship, and we got to find our way around. So for that reason, this is probably my favorite dungeon in this place. It's also got a lot of really cool puzzles, and of course, more time shift stone work. So that's always fun, but for now, we're just kind of on the deck. There's not really a whole lot we can do. It turns out there are a couple locked doors around, and basically, this is the only way available to us. And it's worth remembering this little section, because we're going to be walking back and through it quite a few times. Unfortunately, since it is a ship, there's not really like too many alternate pathways to get to places, so we're going to be walking back through the same areas a few times, but no big deal, really. And of course, if we look over here, we've got these blessed butterflies. You know what that means. There we go. Yeah, and playing the harp is actually pretty cool in this place. There's a lot of interesting chords and stuff, so if you have a minute, it might be fun to just sit there and play along with the music, So again, we don't really need anything too badly, so we're going to try the Triforce here. Oh. The cord, I was like pulling against it. Okay, well, it still knew what I meant. Okay, so get a bottle, catch one of the fairies. And we'll just leave the other two to kind of flutter around and be free, I guess. Okay, so the way we want to go is over here to the right. You can see there was a doorway kind of back over there, but that actually doesn't lead anywhere. It's just a dead end, so kind of mean, I guess. So take out some of the keys here and there. There's not too many enemies around except for like certain rooms. Here in the present time, it's basically deserted for the most part. Of course, we got this thing. We can just roll a bomb at it. Take care of that, no problem. There's a couple rooms back here, but you can see it's blocked off, so there's nothing we can do over there right now. Your first time through, there's really only one way you can go at any given time. Alright, so we gotta dash across here, and be careful with this one, because it uses up basically all of your stamina, so it might be worth conserving a little bit here and there. And down some more steps. Yeah, we can actually take a look at the map of this place, and you can see that it does actually have 4 floors. So this is the most we've had so far, and it does get a little bit complicated here and there. So this is kind of the most puzzly dungeon, I guess, that we've come across so far. It's pretty cool, though. So we're still basically continuing along our one path. You can see, yeah, there's a lot of these things. What I like to do here is just kind of run through and get them all to fall off first, so that way you can just like come back through and basically like lawnmower them this way. Of course, and yeah, and of course we've got jelly blobs. I mean, with that many, you know we're gonna pick up 1 or 2. So we're up to 17 of those. I want to get to 20 at some point. That'd be awesome. So yeah, it's worth clearing these guys out. I mean, you don't have to, but they would be in this hallway every single time you run through otherwise. So once you take them all out once, they will all clear away and you'll never have to deal with them again. And Fi's gonna pop out here and point our attention towards this door, which is worthwhile to look at. It's kind of hard to tell because it's blocked off with that kind of like super barbed wire stuff, I don't know. But yes, that is actually the boss door, believe it or not. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see, but you can just kind of make out a little inscription right here. So that's where we're going to stick the whatever the item is we get as the boss key here. And again, there's really not too much available to us in this area, but... Okay, well, that works. But we are actually reaching the end of our first little excursion into this section. This is going to be basically the final room. This room right here is somewhat important. We're going to be revisiting it a couple times. It's basically kind of like a brig. We've got, you know, these bars here, and this is going to be electrified once we're into the present. You can also see there are a few of these robots scattered here and there. Oh, I got a guy on me. I didn't even notice. So this room actually contains a puzzle. I'll just give you kind of a brief preview of what it looks like, but it's another one of those directional locks that we saw in the ancient cistern. So basically, as you blow the sand away, you'll find these panels here, and the trick is just you look at, there's only one of the spokes colored, so this is the first one, and you want to face it this way, actually. So the first direction is, actually, no, I think it is this way. Yeah, so the first direction is down, and it turns out the answer is always the same to this, so it's down, up, down, right. And that's basically just to save having to blow all the sand away. It'd really take too much time otherwise. But yeah, that answer is the same on every version of Skyward Sword, so if you're playing it, now you know the code. You don't have to bother with the puzzle either. And of course, we open the chest in this room. We'll pick up a small key. We haven't really seen firsthand any locked doors, but I do believe there's only one we can access at this point, and it is all the way back up, basically in that first room after we left the deck. So, like I said before, a little bit of backtracking, but it's not too bad. This is a pretty atmospheric place, and you know, there's always sand piles and stuff you can check out if you get bored. So, in case you don't remember the way back, it's pretty simple. You'll kind of get used to this kind of set of rooms here, because like I said before, you will be going back through it a couple times. So it makes it a little easier to find your way around once you've kind of gotten familiar with the place. I mean, there are 4 floors and quite a few rooms, but they're all kind of a branch off of this main kind of passage in one way or another. So we're just a couple rooms off now. It's not too much longer till we get back up to the top. And we go up these stairs. I keep doing that. I can't quite hear the sound cue when I'm talking, but here we are. We've reached the top. This door right here will take us back out to the deck. And this door right here is, of course, locked and the one we want to take. Now, it might be a good idea to save or rest up if you've lost some hearts along the way. Because, as you may guess, we are going to be fighting a mini-boss once we get through here. Little early for that, I know. Like, we just started this place, but, well, we're going to do it anyway. So let's check it out. Well, alright, this guy looks like he means business and he's charging at us. So let's go ahead and kind of get this guy's bio a bit. This is the LD-002S Skirvo. That's kind of a clever name, really, if you think about it. This mutinous robot stole the ship from the skipper, and he still commands it today. It's more effective to use thrust attacks, but, well, we're just going to forego that, as you'll soon see. But yeah, this guy's name's Skirvo. It's kind of like a combination of servo, like in robotics, and scurvy, like for pirates. So it's really cool. I like that name. Okay, so like she said, you can stab if you want because he will block a lot. But yeah, it turns out I'm actually going to use that because it works pretty well. Okay, well, he got knocked back anyway. But really, the goal of this fight is just to push him back towards the edge. See, that's what I wanted to do, was to get him to block my attack so I can like block his right after that. Although you kind of have to watch out for that one because the timing is a lot different. I've yet to really figure it out. Even if he doesn't block your attack, you can still kind of knock him off balance. And you can also do that with the long attack too. So basically, I like to just keep using spin attacks on him because it seems to knock him back the furthest. And you basically just repeat this pattern 3 different times. Of course, each time your end of the plank also shrinks a bit. So. But it's basically, see, that's what I like to do, because that knocks him back really far. Oh, I didn't block in time. So yeah, if he does the kind of long wind-up attack, it's probably best to just hit him and knock him off balance. So after you do this twice, he's going to lose his sword and use just his hook hand. The strategy that I use is still basically the same. You just have to alter your timing on the block a bit. It's kind of a little later. Alright, so probably just one more and he'll be good. Yeah, you also have to watch out for that attack, because it does take longer as well. But just knock him off the plank 3 times. It's really not too bad, and especially if you have as much health as I do at this point. This guy really shouldn't give you too much trouble. At least maybe the first time through, maybe, because you're not too sure of the timing of his attacks. I mean, I can see that. But, you know, at this point, I don't even have to think about it too much. So yeah, that was actually the pirate captain that the other little robot captain guy was talking about. And yeah, the tenacity it's displayed in staying alive all these years. So pretty much all the other robots require the time shift stone to still be functional after all this time, but he's still up and running, so it's pretty cool. And we're gonna get the bow. You knew it wouldn't be too much longer until we picked this thing up. Alright, so now that we have the bow, that'll actually round out our inventory. So, report about the bow. This is a pretty funny statement, too. Hey, Link, did you know that your bow could propel arrows through the air with great force? Huh, never knew that. So yeah, we can also use the arrows to activate targets, of course. This is pretty much just classic Zelda stuff, but, you know, I guess it needs to be introduced and stuff. And she found a device on the deck we can use the arrows for. And it's going to be hard to target it from here, so we should probably get closer. Good idea. So yes, now that we have the bow, you can see our entire circle inventory here is filled out. So it's pretty cool. We can get the bow out if we want. Now we'll play with it later. Nothing really to shoot here, so we'll just let it go. And of course, as you go back in, you can use the stool to recover any health you lost. So that's always convenient. And it's good to remember this place if you do take too much damage. There's a couple different sections where there's actually a stool to recover your health, so that does make it quite a bit easier. So now that we have the bow and we've kind of picked out a switch we need to be hitting with it, let's head out to the deck and actually take care of that. Now, of course, aiming with the bow, I mean, you point with the remote, you know, who would have guessed? So there's basically 2 different ways you can shoot. One is just to hold A down, and you just kind of wait till that fills up, and then fire like that to fire a fully charged shot. There's also kind of a quicker shortcut way to do it, so which we can do here, because obviously we're going to have to hit the time shift stone. So of course we're gonna have to hit it. I don't know why that needs to be explained to us again. We should be able to figure that out. So let's kind of move to the side a bit to get out of the way of those bars. This is kind of a tricky shot. The sun is like right there. But you can also, as you can see, charge up much faster by holding C and just shaking the nunchuck. That can all be described. I don't remember exactly how you do it, maybe from the inventory menu, but there's a way to sort of get information on all your weapons and stuff. But anyway, now that we've hit the time shift stone, we've brought the area back to life, and one of those guys has actually locked the time shift stone up, as well as sealed the door behind us. So we're going to have to take care of these guys on the deck first before we do anything else. There's also, of course, an archer up here that we want to make sure to get. There we are. Yeah, and sometimes those guys will drop arrows now that we have the bow. And also our upgraded sword makes pretty quick work of these guys. They only take like a couple hits. So when it's one at a time, I pretty much just swing wildly until they get hit. Alright, so now we've taken all these guys out, we can start heading up. Obviously our goal is to just keep heading up as high as we can because, well, that's what you want to do, right? Let's see how high we can get. So let's get on up the ladder. And it's going to be a couple enemies. I'm pretty much going to ignore that guy because we want to go this way. And we can fight these guys. This is kind of a cool place to fight them. You can just pick them off with arrows from the deck. You can also do the same here because if you look over, there's more guys. So you can shoot those all with arrows. It only takes one shot. But, you know, what's the fun in that? I think there is an archer over here, though. I believe it's this guy. Yeah, so we'll do that. Now, here you can see we've got a zip line going back and forth, but the actual motor part of it is all the way up there. So we're going to have to shoot this eye switch. Okay, there we go. That was a little sensitive, but when you hit that, it'll send that over towards you, so you can grab onto it. There's a guy shooting at us from down below, I think. I saw an arrow fly by. Alright, now once we get over here, we can take these guys out. Your turn. Everybody go off the mast here. So yeah, nothing really too much to do on this section, but we do have another zip line we need to be hitting. There we go. I don't know, I kind of like the traditional aiming better. If you watch Twilight Princess, I was a somewhat decent shot. I don't want to brag too much, but I was pretty alright. So I don't know, this one seems almost too sensitive. I move around a lot and it's hard to make a precise shot. Okay, so obviously this is the mechanism that Bokoblin used to lock everything up. So we're going to reverse his work. Push that back in. And you can see that'll unlock the time shift stone and open the door as well. And it also looks like the robot captain's made his way up here, and the ship looks just like it used to. And that makes him happy. Well, that's good. That's all we really care about, isn't it? So now we need to go rescue his crew. They're being held inside the brig. Remember, that's where we went to before, kind of in the present time. So he will mark it on your map. It's on the second basement. So there you go. And he'll just wait in the boat. It's kind of nice, too, because now that we've brought this ship back to its full form, he can actually wander a little further away from his boat that he had before. So, all right, now, before doing anything else, we want to check down here. We can take this guy out. I believe that is an archer. And we also want to move the zip line up here. See, again, like, it kind of shakes a lot. I don't know. I don't really like it that much. But, I mean, you can kind of understand when using the Wii mode, like, the most basic thing is to point at the screen. So, obviously, that's what they're going to use. Okay, so once we reach over here, it doesn't look like there's too much, but we can actually drop down back here, and we'll reach a deck that we couldn't get to any other way. You can see there's an opening here, but this is way too high to climb up to. So, oh, that guy's about to shoot me. I better back off. So this is really the only way you can reach this section, and there's also some claw shot targets around. So obviously we want to use that. And we can just kind of drop off here. Okay, that works. And we'll just sailcloth all the way down. Obviously we're going to have to shoot a few more targets to get up here, but you can just drop down to get quickly. And of course, more blessed butterflies. We could use a few arrows, so I guess we can try that. We haven't actually gotten that yet out of a goddess wall, so not close enough. There it goes. It's really picky. It can't hear very well, I guess. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this again. Yeah, to my fabulous art skills. So the arrow's a little bit... For some reason, this one's a little laggy, too. Like, when you'll see it once I start drawing, the frame rate kind of drops. See, like, I don't know why that is. Like, it uses a lot of graphics data or something, I'm not sure. But there's basically an arrow. It's just a line with something on the end of it. That's basically all that matters. And it'll give you bundles of arrows. It'll actually give you 30, so that'll pretty much fill you up no matter what. And of course, the other objective of this little excursion is to open the chest on the side. And that'll get us a piece of heart. Nice. So 2 more until we get our next container. Now, obviously, to get out, we're going to have to use all these claw shot targets to make our way back up. So it could take a little bit of time, some kind of strange angled shots there, but we're making our way just fine. Okay, so now that we're back on the main section of the ship, I guess we can take that guy out. You can also steal their monster horns, like we mentioned before, with the whip. So if you want that, I guess you could farm that guy for them or something. I don't really know why you would, but just in case. So we've learned that our next objective is to free the crew members that are down in the brig. So to do that, we're obviously going to have to run all the way back down. Again, this little passage gets used quite a bit, so just get used to it, I guess. But this time we will get to see the ship in its full glory, so, you know, at least there's new things to see along the way. So, of course, the main enemies that are going to be around here are basically the same Lanayru Desert Fair. We've got the Technoblins, we've also got some Beamos around, so, you know, kind of the mechanical enemies. All the stuff we've seen before, nothing too new here. So just 3 shots with our brand new sword, and that'll take those guys down. It's a lot easier now that we don't have to worry about finishing blows and stuff. And you can see this room is available to us, but I'm actually going to put that off for a little bit because it's kind of more convenient to just go there later. Again, most of these rooms are blocked off to us. We've got kind of a fan here looking in, and you can see a switch on the other side, but with this fan, there's nothing we can really do about that. So we just head downstairs to the brig, as before, and go through all the doors and stairs that we saw the first time. And more Technoblins in the hallway. There's a lot of these guys everywhere. There's also a Beamos here, and this is actually going to give us an opportunity to take these guys out a slightly different way. Of course, I missed my chance. You can use the arrows if you're patient enough. It would have been quicker to just walk up and... Whoa. There we go. Oh, well, I kind of missed. There. See, if you just shoot them right in the eye to begin with from the bow, you don't actually have to take them out the long way. So sometimes that helps, sometimes it just takes longer like it did there, but you know, we'll kind of use both depending on what circumstance we're in. Okay, so this room right here is going to be the brig. Of course, Technoblins. I mean, like I said before, there's a lot of these guys around. So let's... Okay, well that kind of worked out. I was a little nervous about swinging wildly there. And you can see there's also the remainder of the little wheels for the puzzle. And now these guys are back to life, and he looks really scared, so let's talk to him. And of course we're going to let him know we came with the captain. We're going to save you. Yep. So we can't get out of here while the sparky thing blocks the exit, of course. So, yeah, and he just randomly, he forgot to mention, but the engine room's right below. So that's basically what we're going to have to use to sneak in the back way to get around the barrier in order to free these guys. So yeah, there's a corridor from the engine room that connects to the brig. But in order to get there, we're of course going to have to do some more legwork and activate the 2 power generators in the engine room, which he's going to so kindly mark on our map. So this is basically the hallway. You remember the one with the 4 doors? There's all the quicksand here. So there's 2 generators on either side here. Alright, so with that encouragement, we are free to go. We're going to have to make our way back up a little bit. And of course, we're going to have to do quite a bit of work in order to actually activate those 2 generators. That's kind of the main focus, really, of this dungeon. It doesn't seem like much, but it'll take a little while. Okay, so let's go back through the door here, and I think this should take us to the room where the hallway is after we climb some stairs. Alright, here we are. Now, I mentioned before we saw the ice switch through there, but the fan is in the way, so obviously we're going to want to deactivate the fan. The easiest way to do that is to bring everything back to the present time. So let's... Oh, wow, okay. I didn't know if I could follow up on that one or not. I got kind of lucky hitting him the first time. Alright, there we go. So, Phi will tell us this, but I'd rather just explain it myself. If we look up, we can actually see, making a very tricky shot, we can shoot right through the bars and hit the time shift stone from here. So anytime you see a room like this where there's a big light coming from the ceiling, that means you can look up and actually shoot the time shift stone. It's pretty clever, actually, putting it like so high up and in a place where you can see it from like multiple rooms. That's one of the things that makes the sand ship really cool, is that you can just like, you know, you switch time just in that one stone, but you can do it from like multiple places inside the ship. It's really cool design, actually. I got to applaud them for that. So of course this is going to give us the dungeon map, and it also gives us the added benefit of making it the future, so, or I guess the present, whatever you want to call it. So now we can get through there and shoot that ice switch while that fan's deactivated. Man, that's always really close. It makes me nervous. Alright, so now, well, let's get the bow out. Now we can shoot through there, hit that thing. And that's, of course, going to unlock one of the doors. So let's head in. Okay, first things first, we've got thunder keys to take care of, so let's do that. A couple swipes, and that takes care of them. And we also obviously want to move this block. Anytime you see a block on a path, you want to move it, even if you don't really know what it does. But it turns out this is actually a pretty cool little puzzle. If we stand on the floor switch, it'll kind of open up that panel there, revealing an ice switch inside of it. So then we can take out the bow, and if we do this just right... there we go. We can actually shoot through that deactivated fan and open that door. This is pretty cool. You do a lot of really neat bow shots. And of course, stepping off of the floor switch will cause the panel to close again, so you do have to make the shot from there, but it's not too hard. Okay, well, now that we've opened that up, you might think we want to go ahead and go in there, but it turns out there's not really too much we can do here at the present time, so we're going to have to go back in and make it the past again. So this time we can do it from this door. And turn around. It's also kind of nice that the view zooms in whenever you get the arrow ready, so that's helpful.